Hey everyone, so today we're diving into some pretty important updates from the UK government regarding benefit fraud measures.
You know, this whole initiative is really about ensuring that taxpayer money is used properly and addressing those issues of welfare fraud that have been around.
It's crucial, right? We're gonna cover some key measures, the legal framework behind them, and how they all tie into a broader government strategy. So stick around, it's gonna be insightful. Alright, let's jump in.
First off, one of the major changes is how driving licenses can be affected if someone fails to repay debts related to benefit fraud.
I mean, can you imagine, if you're caught up in this, you could face a disqualification that lasts up to 2 years. That's a serious consequence. It's like, all of a sudden, your driving privileges are on the line because of financial issues.
That's gotta hit hard, right? And then there's this new power that the Department for Work and Pensions, or DWP, has. They can directly recover money from bank accounts.
Like, if you owe money, they can just go straight into your account and take what's owed. It's a big deal. There's criteria for how they do this, but it really puts the pressure on those who might be trying to game the system.
Now, let's talk about the legal framework. There's this Public Authorities Fraud, Error and Recovery Bill that's been introduced. The purpose: to tackle fraud more effectively and save around £1.5 billion for taxpayers over the next 5 years.
That's a significant amount. You know, it's like the government is saying, we're serious about this, and they're also giving courts the power to suspend driving licenses for significant welfare debts.
So, it's not just a slap on the wrist, it's serious business. But, it's also vital to consider the safeguards that are being put in place. There are codes of practice meant to assure the public that these new powers won't be abused.
Oversight mechanisms are being established to ensure that these measures are used proportionately.
It's like they're trying to find a balance, which is good, right? Because, you know, nobody wants to see these measures turned into something overly punitive.
Now, looking at the broader government strategy, there's this plan for change that aims to reform the welfare system. It's about supporting individuals who are trying to find work and, stay employed.
That's really important, especially in today's economy. And let's not forget about the response to COVID fraud.
The government is doubling the time limit for civil claims against those involved in fraud during the pandemic while also giving new powers for investigating and recovering funds.
It's a response that acknowledges the tough times we've all been through. And then we have these new DWP powers related to search and seizure. This gives them more control over investigations into fraud.
Plus, there are mechanisms for recovering debts from individuals who aren't currently receiving benefits. It's like a complete overhaul of how things used to be. Oh, and banks now have new reporting requirements.
They have to flag potential eligibility breaches. Can you imagine? If you're a bank, you're now part of this whole fraud detection process. It's a lot of responsibility, and it's gonna change how they operate.
So, as we wrap this up, it's clear that these measures are aimed at tackling benefit fraud head-on, which is crucial for maintaining public trust. But, it's also essential for us to reflect on the implications of these changes. We need to think about the people who might be affected, the real struggles they face, and how these measures might impact their lives.
I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the statistics and the legal jargon, but at the end of the day, these are real people with real stories. And it's so important for us to approach this with empathy.
So, what can we take away from all this? It's a reminder of the delicate balance between enforcing rules and being compassionate. It's about accountability, yes, but also about support. We all want a system that works for everyone, right? And you know, even though this topic can feel heavy, there's something positive to be found here.
The government is acknowledging the problem and taking steps to address it, which is a step in the right direction. It's like they're saying, we see you, and we're working to fix this.
So, if you found this video helpful or informative, please like, share, and subscribe. And drop a comment below with your thoughts on these new measures. I'd love to hear from you. Let's keep this conversation going because it's really important.
Thanks for tuning in, and let's stay engaged in these critical discussions.